The old hotel stood on the edge of town, forgotten, desolate. Its once grand facade now crumbling, overtaken by the relentless march of time. The sea, stormy and wild, crashed against the cliffs below, as if trying to reclaim the land on which the hotel stood. A veil of silence hung heavy in the air around it. The fog, thick and impenetrable, wrapped the building in a ghostly embrace, muffling any sound that dared to break the stillness. Locals called it the Whispering Hotel. The sign, barely visible through the mist, seemed to whisper its name to those who dared to look. They knew its secrets. They knew its stories. Tales passed down through generations, each more chilling than the last. Stories whispered in hushed tones. Stories of disappearances, of people who checked in but never checked out, of cold spots and shadows that moved, shadows that seemed to have a life of their own, creeping along the walls and floors. Stories that sent shivers down your spine, tales of ghostly apparitions and eerie sounds that echoed through the empty halls. No one dared to go near the hotel. The no trespassing signs were a stark warning to all who approached. It stood as a monument to fear, a relic of a dark past that refused to be forgotten, a decaying testament to the darkness that lay within its walls. The walls, once vibrant and full of life, now crumbled and decayed, telling a story of neglect and abandonment. The windows, like vacant eyes, stared out at the world. Empty and soulless, they seemed to watch and wait. They held a silent warning, a warning to those who might be tempted to enter, a warning that echoed through the years. The Whispering Hotel awaited those brave or foolish enough to uncover its secrets, to step into its shadowy embrace and face the darkness within. Clara was a photographer, young, ambitious. She craved the unusual, the forgotten. She wanted to capture the unseen, the unheard, stories whispered in pictures, stories etched in light and shadow. She had heard the rumors about the Whispering Hotel, about its eerie silence, its tragic past.
I felt a pull towards the unknown, a desire to uncover the truth behind the whispers. I knew the risks. I had been warned, but my ambition burned brighter than my fear. I packed my camera bag, checked my equipment one last time. I was ready to face the silence of the Whispering Hotel.
The old iron gates groaned as Clara pushed them open. Rust crunched beneath her feet. The air grew heavy, oppressive. The silence was almost deafening. It pressed against her ears.
I took a deep breath, raised my camera. I began to document the decay.
The hotel was a labyrinth of shadows and dust. Cobwebs clung to the once grand chandeliers. Wallpaper peeled from the walls like shedding skin. The air was thick with the smell of dampness and decay. But through Clara's lens, the hotel came alive. It whispered its secrets, secrets hidden in plain sight. As Clara explored further, she felt a presence, a coldness that sent shivers down her spine. She heard faint whispers, just out of reach. They seemed to come from the walls themselves, from the shadows that danced in the corners of her vision.
I paused, listened intently, but the whispers faded into the silence. I told myself it was my imagination, the wind whistling through the broken windows, the creaking of the old building. But deep down, I felt a knot of unease, a sense that I was not alone.
Clara reached the ballroom. It was once a place of grandeur, where laughter and music filled the air, and the elite danced under glittering chandeliers. Now it was a cavernous space filled with shadows, a ghost of its former self. The walls, once adorned with opulent decorations, were now crumbling and bare. Dust motes danced in the faint rays of sunlight that pierced through the grimy windows, creating an ethereal glow that contrasted sharply with the room's decay. A cold draught swirled around her, raising goosebumps on her arms. It was as if the room itself was breathing whispering secrets of the past.
As I stepped onto the dance floor, I felt a presence behind me. A chill ran down my spine. The air grew thick, and I could almost hear the faint strains of a forgotten melody. I whirled around, my heart pounding in my chest, but there was nothing there. Just the oppressive silence and the weight of memories long gone. Just the echoing silence and the dust motes dancing in the pale light. It felt like the room was alive, watching, waiting.
Clara shivered. The ballroom held a strange energy, an energy that sent chills down her spine. She could almost hear the whispers of the past, the echoes of laughter and music that once filled this grand space. It was a place caught between worlds, where the past lingered, and the present felt like an intruder. Clara continued her exploration, drawn deeper into the labyrinthine corridors of the hotel. She came across a door hidden at the end of a darkened hallway. It was slightly ajar, as if inviting her in.
I hesitated. My hand hovered over the tarnished doorknob.
Curiosity battled with fear. Clara took a deep breath and pushed the door open. The room was plunged into darkness, the musty smell assaulting her senses. Clara fumbled for her flashlight, its beam cutting through the oppressive darkness, revealing a small, dusty room, and in the center, a mirror. The mirror was ornately framed, its silver tarnished with age, but the glass itself was crystal clear, reflecting Clara's image back at her. But as she stared at her reflection, she noticed something strange.
Faces, other faces, trapped within the depths of the mirror.
They flickered in and out of focus, their expressions filled with a silent plea. Clara's breath caught in her throat. Her fingers tightened around her camera. She had heard the whispers about the mirror, about the souls trapped within its glass. Now she was face to face with them.
Help us! Free us!
Panic surged through Clara. She stumbled back from the mirror, her breath coming in short, ragged gasps. The room seemed to close in around her, the walls whispering secrets she couldn't understand. Her heart pounding against her ribs, each beat a desperate plea for escape. The whispers seemed to grow louder, more insistent, filling her mind with a cacophony of voices. They were more insistent now, as if trying to claw their way out of the mirror and into her world. The reflections twisted and contorted, ghostly hands reaching out, grasping for her.
I have to get out of here! Clara's voice was a strangled cry, barely audible over the din of the whispers.
Clara didn't hesitate. She turned and ran, her feet pounding against the floor. The darkened corridors seemed endless, each turn leading her deeper into the labyrinthine hotel. Her footsteps echoed in the silence, a stark contrast to the whispers that followed her. They were relentless, mocking her fear, urging her on with sinister delight. The whispers followed her, growing louder with each step. They seemed to be everywhere, surrounding her, closing in on her, mocking her fear, urging her on.
You can't escape us. We are everywhere. The voices were a chilling chorus, echoing through the halls.
She had to escape the hotel, escape the faces trapped in the mirror. The thought of those ghostly visages sent a shiver down her spine, escape the whispers that clawed at her sanity. They were relentless, a constant presence in her mind, driving her to the brink of madness. Clara knew she had to keep running, had to find a way out before it was too late. Clara burst out of the hotel, into the bright sunlight. She gasped for breath, her lungs burning. Her legs trembled beneath her, barely holding her up. She had escaped the whispering hotel. But its eerie presence lingered, a shadow in the corner of her mind.
It's over, but why do I still hear them?
The whispers echoed in her ears, relentless and haunting. The faces in the mirror burned into her memory. Clara knew she would never be the same again. The hotel had claimed a part of her soul, a part she could never get back. Clara never returned to the Whispering Hotel, but the hotel never truly left her. She could still hear the whispers, faint but always there, a constant reminder of her encounter with the unseen.
Why can't I forget?
And sometimes, when she looked in the mirror, she could almost see them. The faces trapped in the glass, their eyes filled with a silent plea. A plea she could never answer.
They're still with me, trapped within my mind. Forever.
Clara was left with a chilling realization. The souls in the mirror were not just trapped within the glass.